What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, guys, to the Georgia Bulldogs 2026 schedule preview and predictions. Riggs Tambro, Seth Douglas here at the Sports Forum. Happy Monday to everybody. We are back and at it, my man. We are almost through the top 25 preseason college football poll, all team previews, as well as all 32 NFL teams as well. So coming down to the thick of it, if you guys haven't seen the other episodes, they're on our YouTube channel at The Sports Forum. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. You can check out all previous episodes right now. Still got a few more coming for you from the NFL and college football as well. So join us every single day, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. My man, we are hopping on in. Big expectations from the boys over at Georgia, and I want to really quickly ask you about the looming question of Gunnar Stockton, the quarterback over there at Georgia. What are we going to get from this guy? We know redshirt senior. You couldn't have more expectations on you at this point. They kind of get, I don't want to say clowned, but they kind of get known as like, oh, you don't have to be that good of a quarterback at Georgia because of everything else that's around you. Is that disrespectful to Gunnar Stockton, or do you think that he kind of fits that mold?
I mean, I don't think it's disrespectful. It just it just shows you more or less what kind of program Kirby Smart has built down there in Georgia. But I mean, to be completely fair to Gunnar Stockton, he was like one of the top guys down in Georgia during his recruitment and recruiting class. I think he holds a whole bunch of records for passing down there in Georgia. So highly touted. I think he was number one in the state down in Georgia when he came out. So I mean, he's good, but I mean, like you said, when you go to a Georgia, you go there not to mess things up, basically. So you're just there to fill in the gaps and then pick your spots as needed. But definitely, he's still one of those guys that you can ask for or ask to put a game on. And he's shown that he can will a team to win.
Is he the best quarterback they've had in, let's say, the last 5 years? Is he better than Stetson? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I agree. Okay.
There you go. You also have to remember, even though Justin Fields did not play at Georgia, he was there at Georgia. So, no, he's not the best Georgia quarterback that they've had in the past 5 or 6 years, but he's done enough. He's done enough.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, we're hopping on in here to this Georgia schedule preview. Let us know how you guys are thinking. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, if you got any questions about anything Georgia, let us know, and we'll get to it there in the chat. But my man, we're hopping on in here. It ended, relatively well for Georgia. They did have a tight one here right around Thanksgiving, which is pretty scary there. A 1-touchdown win over Georgia Tech, but you and I were both very high on that Georgia Tech team, so I don't fault them too much for that one, and they still won by a touchdown. So, hey, then Georgia, Alabama, that was kind of the derailing of Alabama. We kind of thought, hey, Bama could kind of make some noise here. Yeah, nah. GG, said Georgia. Then they lose in the Sugar Bowl 39-34 in an upset to Ole Miss. That was a big one, but they're coming back here against Tennessee State. I think you and I, let's just go really quick here. Tennessee State at Georgia, Western Kentucky at Georgia. I think we can both agree Western Kentucky is the tougher of those two games, but neither game here should give them much trouble.
Yeah, easy wins, easy 2-0 start.
All right, 2-0. We ain't going to waste no time. Then we got Georgia at Arkansas. Now, you know me. Every time we talk Arkansas, dude, I'm like, Seth, they got a chance. They got a chance. I always, I pick them as a dog a lot for dog of the week, when they roll around against a few big-time teams here. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Georgia is that team that's going to let one slip by them. But at Arkansas, could this be a 1-touchdown game?
Nah, I think it's still pretty early in the season. I think this team is going to be firing on all cylinders. I think Kirby Smart is going to be in their ears on the practice field, drilling them to the point where, like, don't let any SEC opponent, even the lesser ones, get you off your game. I think they're going to be ready to beat Arkansas and get a win.
All right, I'll join you there. 3-0 the Georgia Bulldogs here. No time wasted. Honestly, not a lot of danger here at the start of the schedule. Then gets interesting here, Seth, because your boy, John Mateer and company are coming to town there at the end of September. They could make some noise. This could be interesting. I'm going to let you have the floor first on this one. Let me hear how John Mateer is going to walk into Georgia and get a win.
I don't know. I think this one is going to be closer than what people expect. I definitely think Brent Venables is going to have that defense on point when it comes to playing against this Georgia team. But I think me and you were just talking about, or behind stage, we were talking about the wide receiver core, and this is going to be one of those games where the receivers are going to have to step up. I'm looking at Isaiah Cannon, who came from Georgia Tech through the transfer portal. He's going to be a really big contributor for this wide receiver group. So I'm going to be looking at him to have a breakout game, or at least have some key moments for this Georgia team for them to pull out the win. But I think I give it to Georgia. It's going to be a close one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma gets in there and sneaks one out though.
Dude, I got a feeling here, and I don't know why, but something tells me, John Mateer is made for these games right here. Mm-hmm. This feels like what the guy's a dog, and that's one thing you didn't shy away from saying about him last year was like, don't count this kid out. If he's injured, he'll play. If he's down, he's ready to come back. He doesn't get down on himself really on the field. He doesn't show a lot of quit in him. I like him a lot, and I think that you need these attributes to beat a team like Georgia. And I think there is bigger kids at bigger schools that I can't say that about. So I kind of want to take Mateer and the boys. What I do know is when this rolls around, I mean, obviously we'll see what happens at this point. I expect both teams to be undefeated at this point, but I do expect this to be, a 4.5 point favorite here for Georgia. I'll be taking it with Oklahoma 100%.
You raise a good question real quick, Riggs. You said you think both teams are going to be undefeated by this time. We mentioned when we did the Michigan preview show, Oklahoma plays at Michigan in week 2. So I think you did give Oklahoma the win. So I think this might be
I'll be honest with you. That was one that I was like 50-50 on, don't know what to do, but it was the same reasoning. It was if someone's going to walk in there and get it done, it's Mateer. What I will say is I do think that they win one of those. Look, we'll see against Michigan, right? If they go on the road and they show they can't play well on the road and the big house gets to them and they're not, you know what I mean? Well, they're in big trouble walking into Georgia. But if they go out there, even if they lose by a touchdown, they lose by a field goal. If they go out there and compete with Michigan, put up a really good fight, and just barely let one go, what's to make me not like them 2 weeks later when they go to Georgia? You know what I mean? When they feel better, when they get one out the way, when maybe the pressure's on now, maybe the confidence is up now. Who knows? I think they take one of those two between Michigan and Georgia. So for the sake of it, I'll give this to Oklahoma. But to be fair, I don't really think Oklahoma win both. I just think they win one, and I think they compete very, very well in the second one. But don't be shocked if they steal both of those, and all of a sudden, Seth, when you and I are talking polls on Monday morning, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
All right. If they beat Michigan and then they go beat Georgia, or God forbid, lose by a field goal or less, to say that team at that point's not top 10, that's just ridiculous. So,
I'll leave that up to the point of where other teams fall at, but I will take that in consideration when that time comes.
Fair. Seth's like, hey, as long as it's not Notre Dame, it's all good. But anyway, there's that receiver room, guys. There's that little depth chart for you as of right now for the boys over in Georgia. When you see that yellow, you are seeing a transfer. When you see that pink, you're seeing a true freshman. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at those depth charts there. We do use our lads Depth chart is the name of it. So you can look it up. Just type in Georgia depth chart and you'll find it on Google. But that said, my man, we got this team. You're locking in Georgia here. I'm locking in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 4-0 for you. 3-1 for me. Then Vandy at Georgia. I know Diego Pavia just got cut by the Baltimore Ravens, but he was the reason I would take them to compete in this game, and he's not playing in this one. Vanderbilt, I like them. I like their coaches a lot. I think they're building something. This ain't the game, my boy, especially if I'm right about them coming off that game against Oklahoma. Look, whether they beat or lose to Oklahoma, Oklahoma's a better team.
Yeah.
The next week, I'm either going to look at that like, well, they're much better than Vandy, so just take Georgia. Why overthink it? Or secondly, they just came off a loss. They can't afford to lose again. Vandy, you woke up at the wrong time. Sorry. It's Georgia either way. I think it's Georgia by about 3 touchdowns in this game.
I won't go 3 touchdowns, but I think it's a very convincing win. Brent Key, he's like you said, he's doing a good job at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Got the number 1 recruit at quarterback this year, and I think it might just be a little too much for him when it comes to this game. I think Kirby Smart and that Georgia defense is going to be, serving him up basically. I think he's going to have a lot of things going on, and he's going to be introduced to SEC football fairly fast.
Welcome to the show, kid. I'm right there with you, man. And we know one thing about Kirby is he does not ease up on the young, dumb, scared quarterbacks. He says, welcome to how we play football. And that's just not the team you want. And it's at Georgia just to top it off. I think at Vanderbilt, it gives you that little bit of like, man, could they? Could they? But no. Look, and if they do, this kid's a kid to keep an eye on at quarterback, but I just don't see it. So there you go, guys. A easy win, could be multi-touchdown, could be a little bit closer, but not an upset spot here against Georgia. So Seth 5-0, myself 4-1. Then Georgia at Alabama, the rematch, this time at Alabama. So Bama, they come off that, 3-touchdown loss there, kind of embarrassing to end the season there, December 6th, 2025. So got this one circled. We all know Kalen DeBoer took a lot of heat since he's replaced Saban, a lot of doubters since he's replaced Saban. And I kind of think we circle this Georgia game every year at this point, and we say that kind of determines how they're doing, And I feel like this is a game Kalen DeBoer has circled, and he's saying, hey, we might lose one of those other ones, but we ain't losing this one. Seth, you got the boys undefeated. Did they hold?
I'm trying to remember what I did when we did the Alabama show. If I gave it to Georgia during the Bama show, I might retract that and give it to Alabama during the show.
Okay.
I think this is going to be one of those pressure point games that we look back on and be like, okay, this is where either the season took an uptick or went downhill after it. So I do think this may be a loss, or let me not say maybe. This will be a loss for Georgia. Bama gets the win. And I like you mentioned, Kalen DeBoer, he's had actually good success against Kirby Smart in the past, 3 years that he's been in the SEC. And I think he
2? This is year 3, right? For Saban?
Is this 3? Okay, so 2 years, past 2 years.
Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, either way, I'm with you.
But yeah, I think he's had good success, and I think it continues. I think they get the win and they revenge that loss in the SEC title game. So give me Bama.
Wow. Okay. This is hard, man. I'm a DeBoer guy. Shout out Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Man, I like him a lot. I think what he's done has been special, but there's a hump right now that I'm not seeing them get over. My biggest problem with Alabama is, do they win that big game every year? Do they win a big game every year, I should say, where people kind of have them losing? Yes, they do. But they've also folded in a lot of big spots. They've also given up a lot early in big games. That's another thing I don't understand is like they're down 21-0 into the first quarter, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
You know? That doesn't happen with Kirby Smart's teams. So I just feel like from a trust factor, yeah, it's at Bama. These Georgia guys ain't scared to go to Bama. Roll Tide, bro. Ain't nobody scared to walk up in there, bro. All right, like there's a lot scarier places to go play. Bama is kind of like playing at Georgia. You know, it's a rowdy crowd, a lot of people, whatever, fans from both sides. It's red everywhere. Who gives a shit? It's the same thing. So for me, this is my lick back on the schedule. I'm going to go Georgia in the big one so that you and I are back to even records here. So I have a loss against Oklahoma. Seth has a loss against Alabama. So things are getting interesting here, but still only one loss, guys, for the Georgia Bulldogs. Let us know how you guys are feeling. Are you with us on the one loss so far, or are we missing something here on this schedule preview? Then, my man, Auburn at Georgia, October 17th. You guys see a lot of TBDs here. As you know about college football, they kind of pick and place these games as based on how teams are doing. Like Georgia-Bama could be a noon kickoff. It could be the night game, prime time. Like, who knows, bro?
I think prime time. That's a prime time.
It's probably prime time. I agree with you. That doesn't really come off like a noon game to me. But, hey, you never know. Auburn at Georgia. People want this to be a game.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I think this is Georgia. Look, Auburn, Seth, they can compete, bro. This could be a good first half. This could be a good 3 quarters, potentially, if Auburn doesn't let it get out of hand early. But I think that they're going to have to win this game off of big plays. I should not even say win, compete in this game off of big plays, and you're only going to get so many. So if they really capitalize on every single opportunity of the 4 they get, and they score 4 touchdowns, good for them. But this to me has Georgia 34. I don't think Auburn breaks max 24. I think it's a 10-point game, Georgia.
Excuse me. Whoa. It choked me up how much effort you gave Auburn for a second. I was like, wow, just 10 points? No, I do think
if lucky.
Yeah, I think Auburn's just too new. They just have a lot of newness going on. They have a new head coach, a new quarterback. Mind you, yes, this is the oldest rivalry in the South. Auburn, Georgia, people forget about that a little bit. So there is bad blood when it comes to this game. But I just don't think in the place that Auburn is at right now, Pete Golish, if I'm saying his name correctly and remembering his name correctly, that is the new head coach of Auburn, coming from South Florida. It's a recalibration kind of thing. So he's got to get used to SEC football. And I definitely think, again, Kirby Smart loves to, put newbies in the blender. He's definitely going to do that to Auburn. Give me Georgia by 2 touchdowns.
Alex Golish, but you had the last name.
Thank you.
You had it. The ex Tennessee, UCF guy, been a coordinator, good coach, but I'm with you, man. A lot of new stuff. And here's the problem. It's not like he's walking into a team that was already solid.
Yeah.
Like, for example, DeBoer walked into Bama and they were still Bama.
You're right.
It doesn't feel that way here at Auburn. Seth, I already wasn't liking them that much. And then you just go look at how much newness is there. And it's just like, are they going to compete? Do they have the talent to compete in some games? Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. They're Auburn. But dude, like,
that's about it.
People forget. You and I both say this all the time. People forget how well built Georgia is as a program, the turnover program. It's all, somehow, even though it's new kids, it's always the same team.
Yeah.
How the hell? I don't know how they do it, but they do it, man. So anyway, too much firepower here for Georgia. Not enough consistency from Auburn. Take another win. 1 loss for the Georgia Bulldogs for us both so far, just in different spots. Then Florida at Georgia. It's that spooky Halloween day, my man. Everything's good on Halloween. I can't freaking wait. I don't even like Halloween. Who the hell likes Trick or treat. No one likes that shit. Okay. But you know what I do like? Turning out my front porch lights and turning on the flat screen in the back and saying, hey, kids, here's a bowl of candy. You have a good night. I'm going to be busy. I ain't opening no door. All right. Now, this one's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So we do have a time on this one, but it's because it is the 3:30 primetime slot game here. So that said, Florida at Georgia. Seth, you said in one of the other previews that by halftime, they were going to be leaving for the parties, saying, appreciate you. Halloween day, you think Georgia's up out of there by halftime, saying, thanks for coming to town, Florida. Go home.
Well, another rivalry game, the world's largest cocktail party. I'm pretty sure this is going to be in Jacksonville. So, they love playing this game on a neutral site, which I don't understand. I feel like this definitely needs to be a home and home situation, but that is for another time. Again, I mentioned newness with Auburn. Same thing with Florida. New head coach, new quarterback, new everything down there. So another calibration period. I think Kirby Smart gets another W, and like you said, I think it's over by halftime. Everybody's already making their arrangements to go to their Halloween parties. So give me Georgia.
Yeah, I'm just not. I told you on the show preview, bro. I'm promoting Florida's going to be good again. Florida. How many times are we going to? It's like Florida State. How many times are we going to do this shit? Like, how many more times are we going to keep saying that? Oh, they're back. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. Last year, you said it. DJ Lagway was the best thing they had on that team. He gone. So what are we talking about here? Why are people acting like Florida is going to be good? I don't know. I don't get it. Do they still have decent run game? Yeah. They have decent line. Yeah. They have decent coaching. Yeah. Decent ain't going to be Georgia, bro. Like, I don't know what we're talking about. And my bad. I didn't even realize the neutral site thing. That is interesting. Very interesting. Because it's basically, I think according to the schedule, it's counting as a Georgia home game.
Yeah, I think they go back and forth with the neutral site, whoever is home and away, but it's always played in Jacksonville, which I don't understand. But I think
I just don't understand how there could be a game in Jacksonville and it counts as a Georgia home game versus a Florida team. That is just the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, I think it's just the mileage between both campuses, Athens and Gainesville. I think Jacksonville is where you can meet up evenly.
Fly everybody to New Jersey then and go play there. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? You can't have it in a certain state and it be a home game for the other team. That just doesn't work for me. Whatever. Drive on down to Mobile, Alabama. Go play it there. Sell that thing out. Like, what are we doing, bro? But whatever. Hey, not my problem. Either way, guys, Georgia gonna stick it to them. It's getting spooky there on Halloween night. Then we got Georgia at Ole Miss to open up November 7, TBD. Seth, you are too high on this Ole Miss team. I think the world is too high on this Ole Miss team. I don't buy it. Are they going to be good? Yeah, they are. Am I going to go on one of my rants about them like I do with some teams? No, because I think they actually can be really, really good. But are we basing that off of a couple little playoff wins? Couple little miracles?
Nah, we're basing it off the talent that is on display. And the main person that's displaying that talent is Trinidad Chambliss, who's going to win the Heisman.
Oh, no. Folks, I say this every time we talk about Trinidad. There are hungry kids around the world. Hey. Don't bet on Trinidad for the Heisman. Go donate. Appreciate you. Link in bio. Donate. Just kidding. It's not in the bio, but, go donate.
Hey, man.
Seth, look, bro. It's a rematch. What, 39-34? The Ole Miss knocked them out in the Sugar Bowl. Yeah. This time at Ole Miss. So getting even more interesting here. You really don't think it's a redemption, revenge? Kirby Smart wants his lick back. You're not seeing it, huh?
It's possible. All those narratives and all those factors are true. I just think Trinidad is meant to have another spectacular year and set him up for a good spot in that NFL draft. So this is one of those Heisman moments, and I believe it's going to happen.
Interesting. Let me ask you this, because this is where I'm struggling.
Okay.
I don't think Ole Miss can put up 40 on him again.
Really?
That was a fluke to me. No, 40? I don't. I mean, look, we've seen Bama put up 40 on him.
They have one of the top, or they had last year. Pretense. Pretense. They have one of the top offenses in the nation last year, and I don't think that was by chance. I think they actually had a good coordinator. Unfortunately, who went down to LSU with Lane Kiffin. But I do think they have enough to get it done from the people that are coming back, coaching wise and player wise, to do it again.
Interesting. I think you want to just believe.
Hey, I'm drinking the Trinidad Kool-Aid. I'm already.
Yeah, you drinking the. We got to get a name for that. The coolest. the Trinidad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to sit with that one with you here. Look, I think Ole Miss can win this football game 100%. It sure favors them. It feels like looking at last year's game. Now it's in Ole Miss. It's at that huge time of year in November where every single thing matters.
Yep.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I get that it sounds crazy that I would say Oklahoma comes to Georgia and beats them, and then they go to Ole Miss and beat them. But I think they do, because I think Georgia put up 34 again. It just comes down to, does Ole Miss put up 40 again, meaning 35 or more? And I think the answer is no, because I don't think Trinidad is the guy you think he is. So give me a Trinidad Chambliss, ball in his hand, opportunity late, doesn't get it done. Georgia Bulldogs stand tall, and they get that lick back there in that one. So, all right, a loss for Seth, a win for me. I got one loss on the schedule. You got two so far here. And we are coming up on the end. My boy, Mizzou at Georgia. We talk about Mizzou all the time. We want this football team to be good. We try to pull for them and say that they're a threat to people. But at the same time, then all of a sudden you take them to beat Louisiana Tech State of Oil University, and they can't fucking beat them. So that said, my man, I'm not going to overthink this at Georgia, especially. No matter what happens in this Georgia Ole Miss game, like we said before, it could be momentum. It could be back against the wall, 2 losses now, whatever it is. They don't lose to Mizzou. Is that correct?
They don't, but I think it's closer than what people expect. I mean, there has been times within, I want to remember, probably within the last 3 years that Missouri has went down to Athens and actually gave people heart attacks down there. How close they were to beating the Bulldogs. So this is one of those games where I do think it's one of those really tricky games that people are going to just look over and be like, Missouri. But Missouri always finds a way. They always turn out to be a 10-win team at the end of the year. So don't be surprised if they make this one a lot more interesting.
You know me, I put them in the Arkansas category. I think they can beat anybody, but it's just, like we said, it's just not a team that likes to slip up against these teams in Georgia. So I feel like while Mizzou catch some people, they don't catch Georgia. But I'm with you. We could be looking at a 4 to 7 point game here that feels like Georgia should have put it away, but somehow there's Mizzou sitting there. Or it'll be 28-7 at halftime, and we're heading back to the party. So
I was about to say,
but either way, it definitely is going to be Georgia by a little or Georgia by a lot.
Yeah, just like how we looked up last year when Texas A&M played Missouri, they were blowing them out 31-0, or whatever it was at that time, and the next thing you know, they lose, or Missouri wins and beats A&M. So you never know. Things
happen. But there you go, guys. 1 loss for me, 2 losses for Seth. We got 2 to go here. Georgia at South Carolina. Holy hell. South Carolina. What the hell? Bro, I feel like I just got like
you got transported to South Carolina.
Oh my God. Your boy Sellers.
Yeah,
you tried to hop on that train last year. Obviously, that train has now sailed. Give me Georgia to walk in there and handle business there. I don't think South Carolina. Unfortunately, I like the coaching a lot. I'm sure you've seen the Netflix shows of whatever. Like, I like them. I like what they're trying to do. They had this like year and a half of momentum.
Yeah.
And now they're back to being South Carolina. So
give
me Georgia in a scary one defensively. I'm going to go 2014 Georgia.
Gotcha. I'm going with Georgia as well. But my question to you is, do you think this is the hot seat for Shane Beamer? Do you think if the season doesn't turn out how it needs to be, he makes a bowl game, he wins a bowl game, that kind of thing? Do you think they are at their wits ends in South Carolina with the Beamer family?
Look, if he don't make it to a bowl game, he in big trouble. I mean, the amount of money getting pumped in, the amount of attention, the Netflix shows, all the things that they've gotten. I don't know how you look at a guy like, what's his name? Veal, the Vandy guy, the bald guy.
Brent, is it Brent Key? Or no, that's
Brent Key. That sounds right.
Yeah, Key. I think it's Key. Yeah.
Either way, the Vandy head coach, I'm going to say the bald guy. Like, you look at what he's done there, right? How do you look at your team then with more money and more talent and more things at your discretion, and a guy like Stellers that was on your team, and all I see is excuses. I expected them to be a very, very legitimate football team last year, Seth. I thought they were going to punish people, and we got about 2 weeks in, and I looked at you on one of those shows, and I was like, Seth, they're done, bro. It's over. The hype, it's all over. It was all hype. It was all pumped into us, and we were told they'd be good, and they put a number next to their name before the season, and they said, watch out, South Carolina's coming, and we all believed it. And they were trash, bro. That's the nicest way to put it. They were below expectations, and I can't get back on that train. Yes, I think Shane Beamer, minimum, has to go bowling. It's hard because he's brought so much to South Carolina that I just feel like they're going to give him a pretty long leash.
Yeah.
But, bro, if they win 4 games, how is he not fired?
Mm-hmm.
There's just too many good guys.
Yeah.
There's just too many. In the NFL, I think it's a little harder because, like, a Stefanski or a Zach Taylor, right? Like, there's some guys that hold on to jobs, and I'm just like, how the hell did that guy hold on to that job so long, right? Yeah. College, it's not really like that. Like, in college, it's kind of like you get 1 year of like, man, what the hell just happened? And you do it a second year, you're in big trouble. If Kalen DeBoer doesn't win 10 games this year, he's in trouble, bro.
Yeah. And especially in the time frame that we're in now with the transfer portal and stuff like that, the patience is very low when it comes to not hitting expectations for teams. So you're able to pay players, get them in, and implement your system. You need to be a contender right away.
Paying Beamer a lot of money.
Yeah,
don't forget that either, right? They're paying him a lot of money. And I saw something that said this is, which I guess shouldn't be shocking, but this is the most amount of NIL money and booster support money that South Carolina's ever gotten toward the football program, right? Okay. There's no way the leash can be long, bro. Mm-hmm. There's no way these rich South Carolina guys are sitting up in their mansions and they're going, and they're winning 4 games and losing to their rival. That shit ain't going to fly for them, So we'll see what happens. Look, if you win 6 games, but you beat Georgia, you're good.
I'm out of it. And sidebar real quick, Clark Lee is the Vandy's coach.
Clark Lee. I said V. Idea.
And Brent Key is the Georgia Tech head coach. So
there you go. who's coming up next, by the way. Great transition. A win against South Carolina here for Georgia. And finally, I got one loss on the board. Seth has two. You need them to win here. I could go either way here. Georgia Tech at Georgia. We saw a banger of a game last year, kind of 16-9. Georgia Tech almost got it done. We all know how much we liked the quarterback room last year over there at Georgia Tech. And this year, it's getting done at Georgia again. So another tough spot here for Georgia Tech. My man, November 28th. Isn't that the same day? Maybe I'm tripping.
What day is that?
November 20th. I thought it was the day they played last year, November 28th. What happened on November 28th? Yeah, same day, bro.
Same day.
So anyway, the actual rematch 365 days later, does Georgia Tech stick it to them late and potentially kick them out of the playoff picture?
Not happening. Hopefully we get a relapse of not last year's game, but the year prior when they went to 6 overtimes. And I'm pretty sure all of college football world stayed up just like they did for Colorado and Colorado State 3 years ago. So great time to be alive during those games. But I think Georgia gets it done, solidifying their route to the playoff and another SEC title game.
Fine. I'll agree with you here. I'm not going to lie. I don't like my one loss Georgia team. When I looked at this about a month ago, before we did a lot of other previews, I want to say I had them 10-2. And I was like, I could see 9-3 for sure. When you look at the board, I gave them Bama.
I was about to say, where you get the third loss from? It had to be that the Bama game, right?
Let's see, because I said Oklahoma was an L. Win. Oklahoma. So I got one loss here. This could have been number 2, right? And then Ole Miss.
Okay.
Number 3 right there. And keep in mind, bro, that is them not dropping any other game that we think they should win. Right. That's no Arkansas, Mizzou, Florida, no easy wins, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. Like, that's giving them all of them. You know, realistically, I think they are a 10-2 football team. I think my prediction here is ceiling. I don't think they can go undefeated. I mean, look, I guess they can if they really do beat Ole Miss and Alabama. Why can't they beat Oklahoma? Fine, but they will lose one of those games. And I think 10-2 makes sense. Now, Jesse Wynn also has the article for you guys on sportsforummedia.com. I'm not going to give away her schedule predictions, but they're close to ours, Seth. I like her ceiling. I like her floor. And I like her record predictions. She also has predictions for you guys. Will they win the conference? Will they win the national championship? She has all that for you on sportsforummedia.com, so make sure to go check her article out. My man, any last thoughts here on the Georgia Bulldogs? Obviously, the submission for you on your final record prediction. I will lock in 10-2, but I see the path to 11-1.
I will lock in 10-2. I will lock in a playoff berth, and I will lock in a national championship berth.
Huh?
Yes, sir. You heard me. I did
not see that coming.
You heard me. I got.
So you got, because keep in mind, Seth, all these predictions, you only get 2. So this is it for you. You got Georgia, Oregon.
Yep, that's my natty.
Wow. Spoiler alert, Seth took Oregon to win the national championship. So go watch that show. It's a great show. Wow. Okay. I don't agree. However, I do like them to win the SEC. I am with you on that. I actually think they do. I put they're like plus 275 or something. I'm with you on that one.
Because we mentioned this either behind the scenes or probably in another show or something. But when the media and the outside world does not talk about Georgia, that is when they are the most deadliest. And I think this team has that feel to them. Like, you don't really hear a whole lot about Georgia. You don't really have all this hype and expectation like they've had in the prior seasons, and that's really dangerous, in my opinion. Yes, we mentioned that the receiver room is a little up in the air, and we got to see who's catching the ball, but they still got a really good duo in the backfield with Nate Frazier and I'm forgetting his name, Dante Dunwell in the backfield. Gunnar Stockton is a redshirt senior, so he's got all the talent and all the experience. And I've heard that their tight end room is probably going to be one of the best in the country this year. So, and you match that up with Kirby Smart and his knowledge and all that good stuff. So, hey man, we might see a Georgia run on the way, in my opinion.
I'm with you with the tight end room. Lawson Lucky, an absolute dog, the senior there. But for a guy who likes Ole Miss as much as you do, I'm shocked. I thought you were going to say Oregon, Ole Miss, Trinidad, Chambliss, the Heisman. That's why I thought you were going.
Trinidad will have all the numbers that you can ask for and plead for a Heisman winner, but I just feel like I still feel like Pete Golden, I believe that is the head coach of Ole Miss, he's still got to get his feet up under him when it comes to, coaching the big boys and, making deep playoff runs. Because granted, last year was magical, but he got dropped in there, and the team was already a well-oiled machine at that point. So it was basically just don't mess it up. So this year he's got to work that out, in my opinion. So
all right, there you go, guys. He's going farther than me. So national championship, Oregon, Georgia for Seth. We will have that playoff picture coming for you guys. That show will come at the very end of our final top 25 previews. But check all those articles out, sportsformedia.com, guys. One more time, live for you every single day, 6 p.m., doing college football and NFL schedule previews for all teams, top 25 in college and all 32 in the NFL, even teams like the Jets who are going 0-17. So tap in for all of those. Seth Douglas got a little natty berth for you guys. You guys can also bet them to make it to the natty for pretty juicy odds, or them to win the natty for pretty juicy odds. They're like 6th or 7th in the favorite board, which is crazy for Georgia. But like you said, when they're getting doubted, it's the time to take them. So we'll see what happens there, guys. Seth Douglas at S&D Sports Media, myself at Rig Sports Talk. Tomorrow on the board for you guys. We're actually off. It's our one-off day tomorrow, so no show tomorrow. But then Wednesday, we got the Titans show for you. Thursday, we got the Jags show for you. And Friday, we got the Baltimore Ravens show for you. So NFL through the rest of this week, so tap in. But college football articles will be up for you as well on sportsformedia.com. Guys, I'm Riggs Tamburo, Seth Douglas. Thanks for joining us. It's been fun. YouTube, click that subscribe button at the Sports Forum, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Drop a few pills and pop a few champagne bottles.